Hello to everyone, and the topic is aldehydes and ketone. It's a part 2. This particular video lecture is useful for the board, CET, JEE, and NEET examinations. So with this, I will go to the next slide. Next slide will give you the information about the content of this particular video lecture. So the contents. So content of this video lecture is preparation of aldehydes and ketones. Preparation and synthesis is same meaning. So preparation of aldehydes or ketone, it's starting from acid chloride. That means acid chloride we can convert into a aldehyde or ketone by choosing a respective reagent. Similarly, we can also prepare aldehydes and ketones starting with nitriles and also from esters and also from alcohols. Okay, that means aldehydes and ketone, it's also possible to prepare from unsaturated hydrocarbon. Unsaturated hydrocarbon means a double bond or triple bond containing compounds. So it is also possible to prepare aldehydes or ketones starting from Hitard reaction. Hitard reaction is a name reaction. Similarly, from the Gattermann-Koch reaction, it's also a name reaction, and also from the Friedel-Crafts acylation. These are the methods one can prepare aldehydes starting from these compounds. Acid chloride means a COCl containing compounds. Nitrile means C triple bond N containing compounds. Ester means COO containing compounds. Alcohols means OH containing compounds. Unsaturated means a double bond or triple bond containing compounds. So Hitard reaction means it's a conversion of toluene into benzaldehyde. Gattermann-Koch reaction means conversion of benzene into a benzaldehyde. Friedel-Crafts reaction means conversion of a benzene into a ketones. This is about the content. With this, I will move to the next slide. Next slide will give you the information about the synthesis or preparation of aldehydes starting from the first method is the reduction of acid chloride. So more particularly, we are discussing about the Rosenmund's reduction. Rosenmund is a scientist, okay? He's invented this particular conversion of an acid chloride. Acid chloride means COCl containing compounds are called acid chlorides. Here R may be an alkyl group, R may be a aryl group. And this particular one, acid chloride is converted into aldehyde. Okay, aldehyde means COH containing compounds are called aldehyde. So this acid chloride is converted into aldehyde. It is possible, this transformation is possible with hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen, and hydrogen will add, means H minus will add to this carbonyl compound. H plus will take up this Cl, forming HCl. Okay, this reaction occurs on palladium surface. Okay, and barium sulfate is the solid support, catalyst support, and the obtained product is aldehyde. So that means acid chloride, when it is treated with hydrogen in presence of palladium or a barium sulfate, gives aldehyde. This particular reaction is called Rosenmund's reaction, and this is a general reaction. So let's take a particular example in the slide, next slide, that is this. So particular example means this is a CH3COCl. This is called acetyl chloride. Acetyl chloride, when it is treated with hydrogen in presence of palladium or barium sulfate, gives acetaldehyde. This is an example of Rosenmund's reduction. And one more thing, in this Rosenmund reduction, suppose if we are adding a sulfur or quinoline, this particular one prevents the further reduction of aldehyde. That means, suppose this acetaldehyde is present in presence of hydrogen and palladium sulfate, this further reduces to an ethanol. So that can be prevented by adding sulfur and quinoline. So this sulfur and quinoline prevents the further reduction of obtained aldehydes. Okay, this is about the Rosenmann's reduction. So it is also prepare a ketone starting with acid chloride. Again, acid chloride means RCOCl. Again, here also R may be an alkyl group, R may be an aryl group. And one more thing, these ketones can be obtained starting with acid chloride when we are treating with dialkyl cadmium reagent. Dialkyl cadmium reagent, when it is treated with acid chloride, it gives a ketone. Okay, this is the method. This is the method, right? That means ketones can be obtained starting from acid chloride when it is treated with dialkyl cadmium, right? So this is a general reaction. Let's go to a particular example. So particular example is in the next slide. So that is these are the two examples I'm taking. You can observe that. So this is the one CH3COCl is called acetyl chloride. This acetyl chloride, when it is treated with, you can observe that CH3 twice. Twice means 2 means di. So CH3 means methyl, dimethyl cadmium. Dimethyl cadmium is the one, it acts as a methyl source. The methyl will attack this carbonyl group and Cl will go out. So overall, this can give two molecules. So one, the two acetyl molecule is required for reacting one molecule of dimethyl cadmium, giving rise to a ketone. Ketone is called acetone, here obtained one. And cadmium chloride is a byproduct. It can be removed. So suppose if we are taking another dibenzoyl cadmium, this is again a different reagent. Different means cadmium reagent only, alkyl cadmium only. And this dibenzyl cadmium, when it is treated with acetyl chloride, it forms this particular ketone. You can observe that this group is called benzyl group. This group is called methyl group. So benzyl methyl ketone. Again, benzyl methyl ketone is a common name. It's not an IUPAC name. And this will be a byproduct. Overall, ketones, okay, ketones are obtained starting with the acid chloride with the dialkyl cadmium reagent. If we are taking dimethyl cadmium, we'll get acetone. If we are taking dibenzyl cadmium, we'll get an benzyl methyl ketone. This is about the method. So that means from the acid chloride, one can convert acid chloride into aldehyde using hydrogen palladium, and one can convert acid chloride into ketone by using dialkyl cadmium. This is the thing we need to remember. This is the first method. Let's go to the next method. Next method is using a nitrile. So that means reduction of nitrile. So nitrile, we know that C triple bond N. That can be partially reduced to C double bond N. The obtained C double bond N is called imine. That can be hydrolyzed to get a aldehyde or ketone. This can be achieved in Stephan reduction. Stephan is a scientist. Okay. So what is happening? Stephan reduction. Nitriles undergo reduction with stannous chloride. Stannous chloride is a reducing agent in presence of hydrochloric acid to give imines. The imines which are on hydrolysis, the obtained imines which are on hydrolysis form aldehyde. This reaction is called Stephan reduction. So this will be a general reduction, reaction. So you can say that this particular one is called nitrile or C triple bond N. C triple bond N containing compounds are called nitrile. This C triple bond N nitrile, when it is treated with stannous chloride in presence of HCl, HCl will act as a source of H+. Stannous chloride will act as a source of electron. This electron gives rise to here. This can picks up this proton, forming an imine, and these imines are unstable in presence of acid. So undergoes hydrolyze, forming an aldehyde. So that means nitrile undergoes reduction in presence of stannous chloride and HCl, gives imine. The obtained imine and hydrolysis gives aldehyde. This is the method is called Stephen's method. Alternatively, in presence of stannous chloride, one can take diisobutyl aluminum hydride. Diisobutyl aluminum hydride, it acts as a source of hydrogen. It supplies this hydrogen to nitrile here, convert into a imine 1. This again, imine 1 is undergoes hydrolysis, gives aldehyde. That means instead of taking stannous chloride, one can also take diisobutyl aluminum hydride. This also reduces a triple bond to double bond. Triple bond one is nitrile, double bond one is called imine. So this on hydrolysis. Here also hydrolysis, this is also hydrolysis, gives aldehyde. This is the one more method of preparation of aldehyde starting with nitrile. So I will pass it to the next slide. So next slide is a Grignard reaction. Again, Grignard is a scientist. So when we are using a Grignard reagent, so Grignard reagent means RMGX is called a Grignard reagent. The example of RMGX is CH3 magnesium bromide. So these type of reagents are called Grignard reagent. When we are using a Grignard reagent with the unsaturated compounds, so we will get a addition product, and then addition products on hydrolysis gives aldehydes or ketone. Okay, this particular reaction is called Grignard reaction. So in this we are taking unsaturated compounds as nitrile. That means nitrile on treatment with Grignard undergoes reaction with the Grignard reaction, gives aldehydes or ketone. So based on the substituent present or attached to the nitrile group. So when we are taking hydrogen cyanide, what is happening? This hydrogen cyanide, this carbon is electron deficient. This CH3 minus will attack this carbon, forms an addition product. This addition product undergoes hydrolysis, giving rise to acetaldehyde. Okay, this acetaldehyde plus ammonia. Ammonia is a gas, it will go out. This is a byproduct. So overall, this is the main product, and the name of this product is acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde belongs to a aldehyde category. So that means when you are taking hydrogen cyanide, we'll end up with acetaldehyde. Suppose if there is a other than hydrogen, when you are taking acetonitrile, here in this there is no hydrogen in this case. That means alkyl group is there. So when you are taking acetonitrile, then when this acetonitrile, when it is treated with methyl magnesium bromide, this methyl anion will attack this carbon, and this takes a MgBr. That is what the addition product. And this addition product on hydrolysis gives rise to ketone. That means with hydrogen cyanide, it is giving a aldehyde, and with acetonitrile, it is giving acetone. Okay, that is the thing we need to remember. So that means a Grignard reagent, when it is treated with nitriles, so it will give aldehyde or ketone based on the substituent present on the nitrile. This is the thing you need to remember here. So with this, so this is about the first method is Rosenmund's reduction. Second method is about the reduction of nitrile, and the third method is about the conversion of ester to aldehyde. That means by the reduction of ester. That means when an ester is treated with diisobutyl aluminum hydride, this is also called as dibal, gives an aldehyde. Okay, what is the thing we need to remember? COO containing groups are called ester. This ester, when it is treated with diisobutyl aluminum hydride, so this diisobutyl aluminum hydride acts as a source of hydrogen. This hydrogen can attack this carbon, and this will go out, forms an aldehyde. Okay, here the byproduct is, this is the one, ethanol 1. Okay, that means ester can be converted into aldehyde in presence of reducing agent called diisobutyl aluminum. Okay, and the fourth method, from the oxidation of alcohol. So by the oxidation of alcohol. That means alcohols on oxidation gives aldehydes and ketones based on the type of alcohol we are used. So here I am taking primary alcohol. So this is one category of alcohol. So what is happening when primary alcohol is treated with acidified potassium dichromate? Acidified means sulfuric acid is an acid, and this is a potassium dichromate. Primary alcohol, when it is treated with acidified potassium dichromate, it gives aldehyde. And here since potassium dichromate is a strong oxidizing agent, so there will be a chances of further oxidation to acid. That is the reason we have to control the oxidation. Controlled oxidation of primary alcohols gives aldehyde. Otherwise, it will further oxidizes to acid. That is the reason we need to remember. This is the general reaction, and this will be an example. Name of this alcohol is called ethanol. Ethanol is a primary alcohol. Ethanol on treating with acidified potassium dichromate gives acetaldehyde. Water is the byproduct. Overall, controlled oxidation of alcohol gives aldehydes. Okay, this is the thing. Suppose if you are taking a secondary alcohol, so if you are taking secondary alcohol and acidifying, taking a secondary alcohol with acidified potassium dichromate, then we will end up with ketone. So that means ketones are obtained starting with a secondary alcohol. This will be a general reaction, and this will be a example. So name of this particular secondary alcohol is called 2-propanol. The true propanol, when it is treated with acidified potassium dichromate, it will give you acetone. This is a byproduct. Overall, primary alcohol on oxidation gives aldehydes, and secondary alcohol on oxidation gives ketone, and the tertiary alcohol does not undergo oxidation, but they undergo elimination. That is the thing you need to remember. Okay. This particular Corey's reaction. Corey is a scientist. He used Corey's reagent is called pyridinium chlorochromate. Pyridinium chlorochromate is obtained by the combination of pyridine, chromium trioxide, and HCl. So when a primary alcohol is treated with pyridinium chlorochromate, it selectively gives aldehyde. That means this aldehyde does not proceed to acid even there is a presence of excess pyridinium chlorochromate. That means Corey reaction is useful for the preparation of primary aldehyde starting with primary alcohol. So that means it's a mild reagent. So using this reagent, one can convert primary alcohol into aldehyde. So that means there won't be further oxidation as in the case of potassium dichromate. So with this, I will move to the next slide. Next slide will give you the information of Jones oxidation. Here we need to remember that Jones reagent is called, Jones reagent is nothing but a combination of chromium trioxide and sulfuric acid. So there is a special about this Jones reagent. Jones reagent selectively converts a primary alcohol into aldehyde. And this Jones reagent does not affect the other functional group present in the molecule. That's about the special. So that means oxidation of allyl alcohol to acrolein is carried out in presence of Jones reagent. Okay, this is about acrolein. This is the one. Acrolein means CH2 double bond CH-CHO is called acrolein. Acrolein can be obtained starting with alcohol by using Jones reagent. Jones reagent is nothing but a combination of potassium dichromate in sulfuric acid. So with this, I will go to the next method. The next method is by the catalytic dehydrogenation of alcohol. So catalytic dehydrogenation means catalytic amount of copper is used, and dehydrogenation means removal of H2. So that means when the vapors of primary alcohols are passed on red hot copper at 573 Kelvin, dehydrogenation, removal of H2 takes place, forming an aldehyde. So that means when a vapors of primary alcohol is passed on a heated copper, it gives aldehyde, there will be a removal of hydrogen, and this process is called dehydrogenation. A catalyst is used, that is the reason whole process is called catalytic dehydrogenation, and this will be a general reaction, and this is the example one, and the name of this particular alcohol is called N-propanol. When vapors of N-propanol is passed over a heated copper, so it gives 1-propanol. Here the propanol means aldehyde, Al. So with this I will move to the next slide. So next slide will give, suppose when we are taking a second vapors of secondary alcohol. So vapors of secondary alcohol when passed to a heated copper, it gives ketone. So that means here also we need to remember that by the catalytic dehydrogenation method, primary alcohol gives aldehyde, secondary alcohol gives ketone. As in the case of primary alcohol untreated with potassium, acidified potassium dichromate gives aldehyde, and the secondary alcohol with potassium dichromate gives ketone. Here also dehydrogenation by the catalytic amount of copper also, in this case also primary alcohol gives aldehyde, secondary alcohol gives ketone. This is a general reaction, and this is the one is the example, and you can observe that the name of this particular secondary alcohol is called isopropyl alcohol. Vapors of isopropyl alcohol passed to a heated copper, it gives acetone, and H2 is the leaving group. Okay, this is about the methods of preparation of aldehydes. So one more method is from the one more method also we can prepare, that is start from the unsaturated hydrocarbon. Unsaturated means a double bond containing or triple bond containing reactant. So then alkenes, okay, this is called alkene. Alkenes react with ozone to form a ozonide. This is the ozonide, which on hydrolysis in presence of zinc dust gives rise to carbonyl compound. So that means ozonolysis of alkene. Ozonolysis of alkene means it is about ozonolysis of alkene means it's a reaction of alkene with ozone gives rise to intermediate ozonide. This on reaction with zinc dust gives a carbonyl compounds. So this is a general reaction. Let's look into the examples. So these are the example, and here one usefulness of ozonolysis is, so based on the obtained product, we can also predict the presence of nature of the double bond present in the reactant. That is about the advantage of this particular ozonolysis. Example 2-butene, you can say that this is a symmetrical alkene. When symmetrical alkene is treated with undergoes ozonolysis, it gives a only one type of carbonyl compounds. That means 2 molecules of ethanol is obtained. So based on that, we can say that double bond alkene is a symmetrical one. So let's take one more. This is an unsymmetrical double bond, 1-butene. So when it is subjected to ozonolysis, it gives 2 different carbonyl compound. One is propanol and another one is methanol. So this itself helpful for the finding out the double bond place of the double bond present in a reactant. Similarly, this is also an unsymmetrical one. So when this is subjected to ozonolysis, it gives 2 different carbonyl compounds. This is about the ozonolysis. Ozonolysis means ozone treated with alkene, we will get a carbonyl compound. Based on the obtained carbonyl compound, we can predict the position of double bond present in a alkene. Right. Then hydration of alkyne. So that means alkyne means a triple bond containing one ethylene. So addition of water in presence. So alkene, when it is treated with sulfuric acid in presence of mercuric sulfate, so it undergoes hydration, oxymercuration. This is also called as oxymercuration. So the obtained one is aldehydes and ketones based on the substituent present in a alkene. So that means alkynes undergo hydration with sulfuric acid in presence of mercuric sulfate, gives rise to aldehydes and ketone. This is the ethine. Ethine is subjected to sulfuric acid in presence of mercuric sulfate, gives ethanol as the product or acetaldehyde. So this is a symmetrical alkyne. The sulfuric acid hydration can occurs at this carbon or this carbon, but when it comes to a unsymmetrical one, the OH will attack to this carbon only, not this carbon. That is the reason ketone is the product. So this is about the methods of preparation of aldehydes. So now onwards, let's look into the preparation of aromatic compounds, aromatic aldehydes and ketone, a name reaction called Itard reaction. So Itard reaction means it's also called as conversion of toluene to benzaldehyde. So toluene on heating with chromyl chloride. Chromyl chloride means CrO2Cl2 in carbon tetrachloride. Carbon tetrachloride is a solvent that is called CCl4 or carbon disulfide. CS2 is oxidized to benzaldehyde. This reaction is called Itard reaction. Itard reaction means toluene on heating with chromyl chloride in carbon tetrachloride or disulfide, carbon disulfide, and toluene is oxidized to benzaldehyde. This reaction is called Itard reaction. Let's look into the example. So this is the one example. So the example is this is called toluene. This toluene, when it is treated with CrO2Cl2 is the chromyl chloride and CCl4 is the reagent solvent. So in this, this will react with this hydrogen and forming a convert this into a CHO, CH3 into a CHO. This is the one is called benzene to benzaldehyde, and this reaction, this reagent is chromyl chloride, and this conversion is called Itard reaction. This is the one more example. Only it will react only this CH and convert to CHO. That is the thing we need to remember. So overall, Itard reaction means reaction of toluene with chromyl chloride gives rise to aldehyde. That is the thing we need to remember. Suppose it is also possible to convert a toluene into a benzaldehyde when it is treated with chromium trioxide in acetic anhydride followed by acid hydrolysis. So that means chromium trioxide in acetic anhydride gives this particular intermediate. This further converts into a benzaldehyde. So then one more method, that is the side chain chlorination followed by hydrolysis. That means this is the side chain. This can be chlorinate. The obtained one is CHCl2, and this converted into CHO just by unheating with water. So that means this is also a conversion of toluene to benzaldehyde. So toluene reacts with chlorine under pressure. So why pressure under pressure? Because chlorine is a gas, this is a solvent. That is the reason pressure is required. So in presence of sunlight gives rise to this particular benzyl chloride. This on heating with water gives benzaldehyde. This is another method of conversion of toluene to benzaldehyde. One more reaction, it's a name reaction and it's called Goterman-Koch reaction. That means aromatic compounds undergo formylation with carbon monoxide. CO is called carbon monoxide and HCl. So in presence of aluminum chloride is called Goterman-Koch. So that means this is an aromatic compound and this is a carbon monoxide. This is a HCl and this will be anhydrous aluminum chloride giving rise to this. That means this H is replaced with CO and then H. Obtained one is benzaldehyde. So that means in Goterman-Koch, benzene is converted into benzaldehyde. So let's talk about the Friedel-Crafts reaction. So Friedel-Crafts reaction means conversion of an aromatic compound into ketones. How it is converted? A benzene reacts with acetyl chloride in presence of aluminum chloride. Anhydrous aluminum chloride gives acetophenone. So that means this double bond can attack this carbonyl group. This Cl and H will go out as a HCl, forming acetophenone. Suppose if we are taking a different, this is called acyl group, and this is acetyl chloride. So chlorine is replaced, forming a product. Similarly, here the one taken is benzoyl chloride in the second case. So benzyl chloride, when it is treated with benzene, giving rise to benzophenone. This is about the Friedel-Crafts acylation. Friedel-Crafts acylation converting aromatic compound into ketones. Then similarly, by the reaction of nitrile with Grignard reagent. So here alkyl nitrile, this is alkyl nitrile, and this will be the aryl nitrile. Alkyl nitrate or aryl nitrate, when it is treated with a Grignard reagent, this is also a Grignard reagent, phenyl magnesium bromide. This is also a Grignard reagent, methyl magnesium bromide. So when these two are reacting in presence of dry ether, giving rise to addition product, this addition product on hydrolysis gives the product. This is about the Grignard reaction. That means we can also take alkyl nitrate or aryl nitrate when alkyl nitrate or aryl nitrate when it is treated with Grignard reagent, they undergo addition product, and addition product on hydrolysis gives rise to ketone, aromatic ketones. So with this I will go to the conclusion. So in this video we are discussed about the preparation of aldehydes or ketones starting from acid chlorides, that is the Rosenmund's reduction, and then from nitriles. I think we are aware about the Stephan reduction, alternative to stannous chloride, dibenzyl cadmium or dialkyl cadmium are used. Using dialkyl cadmium, nitriles can be converted into ketones or aldehyde based on the substituent present in the nitrile. One can also convert ester into aldehydes. Here the reagent is dibol, and similarly alcohols can be converted into aldehydes or ketones. And unsaturated hydrocarbons can be converted into aldehydes or ketones. The third reaction, toluene gets converted into benzaldehyde. Waterman-Koch reaction, benzene is converted into benzaldehyde. Friedel-Crafts reaction, benzene is converted into ketones. These are the methods we discussed in this video lecture. With this, I am saying thank you, and please subscribe for more updates.